Hi everyone, another math lesson for 5th primary. درس جديد مع الصف الخامس الابتدائي لمادة الرياضيات تحت رعاية وإشراف وزارة التربية والتعليم. Our lesson today is not actually a new lesson, it's a continue or recomplete last time's lesson. Okay, so it's again a practice on the altitudes of a triangle. Okay, so I just want to remind you with the 3 types of triangles that we have discussed or covered last time. We said that we have acute angle triangle where the 3 altitudes meet at a point inside the triangle, and we said that we have the right angle triangle where we have the 3 altitudes are meeting at a point at the corner of our triangle, and obtuse angle triangle where we have the 3 altitudes meeting at a point outside our triangle. And now we will move to the board to see and remember how the 3 types of altitudes in these 3 types of triangles look like. Let's draw our triangles to see how they look like. The first type is the acute angle triangle, and we said that if I have triangle AB and C and I want to draw the altitudes of this triangle, then I have to drop a height or an altitude from every vertex that I have. So I'll start with vertex A, and of course I'm going to draw the altitude on the opposite side, which is BC line segment. So here I drop it, then it will be a, say, F, and now I'll drop an altitude from the point C on the opposite base, which is AB, let's say at the point E. Then I'll drop an altitude from the vertex B on the opposite base, which is AC, let's say at the point G. So now I have my 3 altitudes on the 3 opposite bases. As you see in an acute angle triangle, the 3 sides or the 3 altitudes, they meet at a point M inside my triangle. The other one now is the right angled triangle. Again, my triangle A, B, and C. Okay, now I want to draw my 3 altitudes. I start from the vertex C and I want to drop an altitude on AB. As you see, it's already drawn for me. It's already dropped on AB and it is at 90 degrees. So this is my first altitude, CB. Now my altitude AB, if I drop a line perpendicular from AB on the opposite base, which is CB, I will find that the side AB, which already exists also 90 degrees, is my second altitude. What about my third altitude? My third altitude is from the vertex B on my base AC. Okay, then B, let's say M is my third altitude. Then my 3 altitudes are BA line segment, BC line segment, and BN line segment. And if we notice, the 3 of them, they meet at this point, which is point B or the vertex B. Now, let's move to the third type here, which is the obtuse angle triangle. And if this is my triangle, this is the obtuse angle that I have. Suppose their name is A, B, and C, and I want to draw my 3 altitudes. Then here, from the point B, I draw my first altitude, say at point F, then BF is an altitude dropped on the base AC. Now I want to drop an altitude from my vertex C. Then if I drop it, it's in the air, في الهواء. طب هنعمل ايه؟ لازم يكون عنده حاجة ينزل عليها. I will extend أو هطول AB عشان C, let's say L ينزل عليها. يبقى ده my second altitude. The first one BF on CA, the second one is CL on AB. Then the third one that I want to drop is from the point B. أنا لسه I didn't drop an altitude لغاية دلوقتي من ال point B. طيب ما هو أنا I have to extend CB عشان أعرف drop an altitude from the point A. Then my altitude will be, for example, AE. يبقى هنا my third altitude is AE. يبقى my altitudes in this one are CL, BF, and AE. I want to know the point that they will meet at. يبقى هنا I will extend this one, the altitude BF, then I will extend the altitude CL, then I will extend the altitude AE, and if you notice, they all met in this point, the point M, which is outside my main triangle, which is A, B, and C. Now let's move to the exercises. We have some exercises to practice on what we have just taken. The first one, the altitude of an acute angle triangle. In triangle AB and C, as shown in the figure in front of you, I want you to draw the altitude CD and find its length. To draw it, زي ما احنا قلنا بالset square and the ruler. بحط الرولر, then the set square. I slide the set square on the ruler ولازم تبقى عند angle 90, and then I drop the vertex. بعد كده أنا I measure the length of this altitude or height using the ruler عادي جدا. As you see هنا احنا هنفترض انه انا عندي الرولر هنا لازقه في البيز AB، وان احنا فضلنا ماشيين بالسات سكوير لغايه ما وصلنا للبوينت C اللي هي on top، وبعدين احنا هنسيب الرولر وهنثبت السات سكوير بايدنا and we will use our pencil to draw a line dropping from the point C to the point that comes after the point or on the base AB, which is going to be point D. يبقى الالتيتيود بتاعي هنا AD، وده بالظبط اللي احنا لسه واخدينه على البورد انه how to draw the altitude of an acute angle triangle. Then here I need to measure it. هنmeasure it عادي جدا with the ruler from point C till point D. CD here, when we use the ruler, we will find that it is 3.5 centimeter. Now let's move to another one. It's also an acute angle triangle, but this time I will drop the altitude from a different vertex. Here. This time I want to drop it from vertex A. So I put the set square on the base CB. CB. This is the place that I am going to put my ruler and set square on. And I will slide my set square from the point B till I reach the point A. Then I will drop my perpendicular from the point A to the point X here. Okay? Then this is going to be my altitude AX. Now I want to measure it. Then I use my ruler. Normally I will measure the line AX or the altitude AX. Then I am going to write the answer. This one, when we measure it, it will be 5 centimeters. Okay, now let's move to the third example in the acute angle triangle. Here I have triangle ABC, and this time I have dropped already an altitude from vertex A and an altitude from vertex C. Now is vertex B turn. So I will put the ruler at the opposite base, which is AC. Then I will put a set square on any of the 2 points, doesn't matter. Then I'll slide the set square till it reaches point B. Then I will drop my vertex, and this is going to be the third one. Then let's see how it will look at the end. Here BY is my altitude in the triangle ABC when I need to drop an altitude from the vertex B. I want to measure it. BY, after we measure it with the ruler, it will be 4 centimeters. Now I want to measure the altitude, or drop it and then measure it, the altitude of a right angle triangle. And to drop an altitude from the vertex A in this right angle triangle, let's see this on the board. Now I will drop an altitude in a right angle triangle. So for example, if my triangle is like that, A, B, and C, and I want to drop an altitude from the vertex A, I will drop it like that at 90 degrees at point F. So AF is the altitude that I have from the vertex A on the opposite base BC. And as I said before, the other 2 altitudes are from the vertex C, it's already here dropped at point A, and if it's from the vertex B, it's already dropped on the opposite side, CA. So the 3 altitudes meet at the point A. Then the one that I have just dropped and I need to measure is AF. I can also measure AC and AB with the ruler if I need to get the length of my 3 altitudes. So in a right angle triangle, my 2 altitudes are already there، موجودين، مش لسه هعملهم. إنما بيبقى في altitude واحد اللي بعمله مختلف عن ال 3 sides بتاعة ال right angle triangle, which is the one dropped from the vertex at 90 degree to the opposite side or the opposite base. That's it for the right angle triangle. And now we will continue with the rest of the examples regarding this lesson. Okay, this is the example that we've been discussing now or trying to answer. So as we said, the altitude is from A to point X on the opposite base BC, okay? And as for the other two altitudes, they are already there, the AC altitude and the AB altitude. Now let's move to another one, which is, let's first measure this one. When I use my ruler, I will find that its measure, AX measure, is our length is 3.5 centimeter. Now let's move to the other example. This one is about the obtuse angle triangle. It also has 3 altitudes. One of them is inside the triangle and 2 are outside. So we'll start with the first one. I want you to draw an altitude XL. So from the point X, I drop an altitude on the opposite base, which is ZY, at the point L. This altitude here is XL. So if I want to measure it, I will use my ruler. So XL will be 3 centimeters. Then I'll move to another one. This time I want you to drop an altitude from the point Z. From the point Z, I cannot drop an altitude inside the triangle. So first I have to extend XY, the base that is opposite to the vertex Z, to be able to drop an altitude at 90 degrees from Z on XY. So here I extend XY outside, then I drop a perpendicular from the vertex Z on XY after extending it. So this is my altitude. It will be dropped at point M, then ZM is my altitude. If I want to measure it, I'll put my ruler on the line ZM. I will measure it and it will be 4 centimeters. Now let's move to the coming example, or the third and the last one. Altitude of an obtuse angle triangle as well. Here I have the triangle ZXY, and I want you to drop an altitude from the vertex Y. To drop an altitude from the vertex Y, I have to extend the base opposite to it. لازم أطول البيز اللي في وشه عشان أقدر أنزل altitude من الفيرتكس Y. Then البيز اللي في وشه أنهي واحدة؟ اللي هي ZX. هطولها لتحت عشان أقدر أدروب an altitude or a perpendicular from Y to meet ZX at point L. So here I dropped my altitude. It will be also outside the triangle. If I want to measure it, تاني هستعمل الرولر بتاعتي وهحطها على line LY to get its length, and YL equals 5 centimeter. Now we have some examples. They are a bit theoretical عشان نعرف احنا فهمنا all about this lesson or the geometry or no. Here choose the correct answer from the given ones. Every triangle has 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 altitudes. Remember, we said that every triangle has how many altitudes? Excellent, 3 altitudes. Then the answer is 3. The longest chord in the circle is called, the longest chord in the circle, do you remember? 2 lessons back, we said that the longest chord in a circle is called diameter. Then let's move to the third question. If ABC is an equilateral triangle of side length 5 centimeters, then its perimeter equals side length 5 centimeters, and it is an equilateral triangle. يعني three sides are equal. If one side is equals to 5 centimeters long, then the three sides will be 5 times 3, they will be 15. So here the answer is 15. Now let's move to the other one. The altitudes of the obtuse angled triangle intersect at one point located on, inside or outside. هنراجع تاني. Acute angle triangle. The three altitudes, they meet where? They meet at point inside the triangle. A right angle triangle. The three altitudes, where do they meet? They meet at a point on the triangle at the corner. Okay? Now here he asks about the obtuse angle triangle. We said that the three altitudes of an obtuse angle triangle, they meet outside at a point outside the triangle. So the answer here is outside. Now let's move to more questions. Choose again, choose the correct answer from the given ones. If the length of the radius of a circle is 5 centimeters, then the length of the longest chord is, we said before that the radius is half the diameter, and the diameter is the longest chord that I have in a circle. So here if he asks me about the length of the longest chord, it means that he wants to know the length of the diameter. And if he wants to know the length of the diameter, I have here the length of the radius to help me. So we said before that a diameter, to get it, it is equals to double the radius or radius times 2. And the radius here is given to me 5 centimeters. So 5 times 2 is 10. Then the answer is 10 centimeters long. Now let's move to another question. The triangle which the measures of its angles are 50, 90 and 40 degrees is called what? We said before that acute angle triangle, its three sides are equal to or less than, each one of them is less than 90 degrees. Right angle triangle, one of its angles is equal to 90 degrees, and obtuse angle triangle, one of its side is bigger than 90 degrees and the other two are acute angles. So when we read the measurement of these three angles, we will find out that with angles 50 degrees, 90 degrees and 40 degrees, this is a right angle triangle because I have here 90 degrees in angle which is equal to 90 degrees. So this is a right angle triangle. Now let's move to another question. And the last one we have today. The midpoint of any diameter in a circle is what of the circle? Do you remember the diameter? It is the line segment that joins two points on the circumference of a circle and passes by the center of our circle. In other words, it is the longest chord that we have in a circle. So here, the point that our diameter passes by is called the chord or radius or diameter or center of the circle. Of course, it is the center of our circle. So the midpoint, remember, the midpoint here, or the point in the middle of the circle that any diameter in my circle passes by is called the center of the circle. Okay, everyone, that's all for today. I hope that you understood the topic that we have covered, and see you later. Study well. Bye.